Hi everyone, so welcome to my page. Okay, so I'm going to be using this my platform to teach bead making. So if you're interested in learning how to make beaded jewelries, slippers, beading on clothes, different anything that has to do with bead making, then this is the right place for you. So I'm going to start from the very basic. What you need for bead making. What are the items you need? So now I'm going to be showing you the basic items you need to start your journey on bead making. So you can learn it to start as a career. If you want to go into a bead making career, then you just have to start learning first. So you can learn from here and then advance. Then you can also just learn it if you're an artistic person, you want to always get to design what you wear, your jewelries or whatever, then this is also the right place for you. So now let's start. So I'm going to be showing you all of the items you need one by one. So first, you need your cutter. This is called a cutter. Mine is quite old because I've used this thing for like since forever. This is called a cutter. You need your pliers, with your plier, with your plier. You need your fishing lines. Fishing lines, okay? I want to be able to answer. This is a AB West fishing line. Okay, there's also AB Frank fishing line. Like this one is AB Frank fishing line. In fact, there are so many fishing lines depending on the one you get. So now in fishing lines, uh, there are sizes, and these sizes matter because you can't use the same size that you use for making a 2 millimeter uh, beads to make a 12 millimeter beads. Okay, so now this one is 0.60. This big one can be used to make it can be used to make necklaces, jewelries, like for heavy jewelries, like coral beads. But I actually prefer to use 0.70. But you can use 0.60 to make coral beads. You can also use it to make layers beads. Okay, so 0.60. You can also use 0.60 to make beaded purses or handbags, depending on the size of the bead. Okay, so 0.70 usually is for making bags. Okay, it's always for making bags. But like I said, you can use it to make your coral beads. The coral beads are quite heavy. So if you use a slimmer fishing line, it might not be able to carry the weight and which will make it to break faster. Okay, so 0.70 is good for making coral beads and handbags. Okay, coral beads and handbags, 0.70. 0.60 coral beads, handbags, and maybe 12 millimeter bead for a jewelry. You can use 0.60 for that. Now we have 0.50. This 0.50 you can use it for the 6 millimeter beads. It's just crystal beads, whatever. You can use it for just a single line jewelry. I'm going to show you a sample soon. So you can use 0.40 for something like that to lay a single line, just something simple that it can carry it, as in like the 4 millimeter beads, a 6 millimeter beads. The 0.40 is also okay. Then we have the 0.25. 0.25 is quite very tiny. It's some people call it invisible thread. That's what some people call it. So you see some of these dresses, your fashion dresses that you see that they do hand beads on the net, and you won't get to see the fishing lines. You're just seeing the beads on the net. Okay, some of them are made with 0.25 fishing line. Okay, because of how tiny it is, it's hardly noticeable. So 0.25. I also use point personally. I use 0.25 for my French earrings like this, something like this now. It's made with 0.25. Okay, okay, okay. So now that's it. Then there's points 30, 0.35. I use those ones for footwears. I use my 0.30 and 0.35 and sometimes even 0.40 to bead on footwears. So in that case, it gets to last longer. Okay, I think that's all for beading materials. Okay, no, that is not all. You actually need your beads. So this is stoppers. What you call stoppers. I want to show you what stopper looks like. It's tiny. I don't know if you get to see it again. This is what your stopper looks like. It's very tiny. It's tiny, but this stopper is what you use to clasp your earring and necklace hooks. Very important. Without them, you have a rough finishing in your necklace or your bangle, whatever. So stoppers are very important. for someone that wants to go into jewelry bead making. You don't need it for handbags, but for jewelry bead making, your stoppers are very, very important. Okay, so you also need your hooks. Hooks comes in different forms. That's your clasp. You need your necklace hook. Comes in different forms. This one is just a single hook. You can use it for your bangle, your necklace. This one is called a layer hook. Layer hooks comes in this one, like this one now, just it has two openings, so you call it a two layered hook. You'll see some jewelries that you see at the back, and it has up to maybe five lines or six lines or 10 lines. That's a layers hook. So you get the layers hook according to the size you want, or the number of layers you're making your jewelry. Your needles, more very, very important. You need your needles. The needles always comes in this form. It could be a size 9, size 10, size 11, size 12.